Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. How you guys doing? Hope you're awesome. What's up, Marcelo? Love, Olivier, Captain Rex, Lupek, Kevin, Froggy, Slee, Grizz, Sea-Dog, what up? Cypher, how you doing? Miguel, Rachel Galata. What's up, fellow bros? Can't wait to see the best trade in the world in action. Thanks, Rach. Regen, what's up? Grizz, don't know who you're talking about. Matt, good morning. Eddie says happy Capital Preservation Friday to everybody but Grizz. What's up, Midnight? Calm, good morning. Timothy, hello. Sour Planet, what up? How y'all living? Well, I don't know. The market doesn't really have breaks, does it? Here's the 2-hour chart. Does look good for a pump higher. IMO. Come on, Motive Wave. Stop being goofy. 2-hour chart. Yeah. To me, looks pretty good. Oh, there's some action. I don't know what that is. That's a 2-hour chart and it's ripping. That's a nice little candle there. What you got going on? So, I don't know if anyone was around, but that was a really nice VWAP bounce we had, only 30 minutes ago. Really clean. And higher low here now on NAS. Big wick into 500, or a big candle into 500 rather. Putting new highs in on the overnight, technically, since we still have about a minute and 20 seconds before open. PDH is not far away. 530. Makes for a good sweep target. Arnesis, good morning. Javier, what's up? From Fireland, Argentina. What does that mean? Does that mean you have active wildfires, or does that just mean something else? Hopefully it's just something else. Hopefully it's just a nickname. Is that just a nickname for Argentina I didn't know about? What was that? I don't know what that volatility was. Top of the hour, we got University of Michigan sentiment. Trump's going to be at a round table with UAE business leaders or something. And then, it's Friday. So Friday rules are in effect. If you made a bag this week, your job today is to hold on to that bag. If you didn't make a bag this week, your job is to not dig yourself a big hole on Friday. It's not to try to get it all back. It's not to turn your week green, I don't think Friday's the day to do that. But let's have a great session. Okay, it's just called Land of Fire. Tierra del Fuego. Well, cool. Learn something new every day. There's VWAP again. Got some demand below that I wouldn't mind tapping into. That is some good coffee I got. Kirkland's finest roast. All right. So yesterday I had a bit of a roller coaster in my Top Step Eggs account. I ended the stream, I think on the Top Step account, down a little bit. Scalp back to green. Then got a little tilty, oversized, dug myself a $1,000 hole. And then I took one last short and it paid, and I ended back up a couple $100, or less than a couple hundred, 187 or something. Yeah, $187. So, you know, you can see the trade. It was a $1,200 trade, and I just was getting wrecked before that. And luckily, I caught the nice little short there at the end. But a little dicey. Shouldn't have let it get that far. Alright, through VWAP now. Naz with a little bit of relative strength. What's up, Martin? No, guys, I don't think I really want to try that coffee. I heard about that. It doesn't seem worth it to me. What about the other account? Are you talking about the other Top Step account? Because someone got, I lost it on stream. Now we're talking about my funded futures. Those ended green. Had a nice trade there. Let me log into my funded futures back end and look at the dashboard. You gotta refresh the stream? Oh, well, I don't know. So I had a bad day on Wednesday, right? And yesterday in my MFFU, I made $475. So I got to get the equity back up. That's what I got to do. Because I'm under the starting amount. What's up, Parshop? I'm doing well, thank you. Let's see if we reject VWAP here and get a push lower. I got my new monitors because my third monitor, it went out on stream last week or something. So I was using two monitors, which is challenging for trading and streaming. So I had a 4-monitor stand, and so I finally filled out the fourth slot and replaced my third one that went out. So now I have 4 monitors, which I never had before. So that means I'm definitely gonna be profitable now, right? Means I'm gonna make a ton of money. I think the monitors was holding me back. No, but it does make things a lot easier. I can leave, the web-based browsers on their own monitor. Have Motive Wave here. Wouldn't mind seeing us get a push down into demand here on ES. What's up, Evan? How you doing? Sea-Dog, you like longs again? Well, you were right on yesterday. Here's a nice push back through VWAP on NAS. Turned around just before demand on ES and yesterday's closing price. Well, maybe we want to get a little lower first. I think a move down to like 59.30 would be better for that move up. I'm on the big screen today, Evan says. TV in the living room. So if you go shirtless today, I got some explaining to do. Well, Luckily, the camera is so tight that if I went shirtless, it'd be hard to even tell. You know. A little tempted to grab the short here. I'm not gonna do it, but it is tempting. Oh, I could step back a bit. Nice. Mr. Bond, good morning. So you're telling us there's a chance. Can neither confirm nor deny. What's up, Tyler? How you doing? Yeah, top of the hour is University of Michigan sentiment. It's not, I wouldn't say big news, but it's definitely it'll add some volatility. Short looks like it's playing out here on NASDAQ decently well. Midnight, you full ported a started plus eval yesterday? And you got funded on? Nice. ES kind of taking a minute here to get the flush. NASDAQ is already pushing lows. A new futures prop firm opened. Thrive Trading. Great. Just what we need. Another freaking prop firm. I'm not going to be the first guinea pig there. Come on. There's too many of them. Yeah, the 50% off MFFU is a one-time deal. Yeah, it is. So make the most of it. NASDAQ diving down towards 400. I guess I should have just gone ahead and grabbed the short. I liked it. Look at this divergence, though. You know, NAS had relative strength going into the open here, and then right now ES is holding its ground. So heads up. I think you're going to need ES to drop if you're going to want to get more movement out of that short. So if ES sustains, I would expect everything to turn around. Could end up being a killer long. Could look back in 10 minutes and say, dang, I said it was a killer long. Why didn't I take it? More and more hedge funds love the prop firm business model. I wonder why. I don't know about that, but I would believe it because think about all the data they get from retail traders. Think about all the data, like top step collected with the tilt and stuff. I'm sure there's ways to really exploit that if you know what you're doing. Get some quants on your staff. I don't know. Got some big brains. Longs to play here, says Sea-Dog. Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. Because ES held its ground. And as I mentioned, ES holding its ground. I think the short side's going to be short-lived. You know? I think it's going to be a killer long. Oh no, Calm. You're in trouble if I'm your quant, bub. I am... I don't have a quant brain. That's for sure. Okay, this is not a promotion. I'm just looking at them. First time, same with you guys. Get funded instantly? No, it's not instant. It says, hit your profit target. Oh, is it straight to funded? Can you swing trade? Because then it gets kind of interesting, actually. Could you swing trade that? Swing trading would be very interesting with futures. Huh. That actually starts to get things, piques my interest a little bit. Now, I don't really trust brand new funding firms, of course, but yeah, look, they're based out of Bahamas too, which No offense, but it doesn't give them a check mark in the credibility column. Just, you know, feel like yeah, I don't. Makes me a little skeptical. Yeah, red flag there. Yeah. So we have. Oh, there's a move lower. There's demand. Nice flush. We have a seasoned entrepreneur in healthcare, leisure, and hospitality. Okay, that's got nothing to do with this business. We have a CFO who's an executive director at a leading former executive director at a leading investment bank. All right, by the way, we're at the demand zone on both ES and NQ. This is the demand area that I'm watching for. We have a Air Force veteran, programming and working in robotics for nearly 10 years. Again, I said successfully launched and managed six-figure startups in the fintech space. Okay. I guess that's pretty related. CXO was that experience officer or something? I don't know. I don't know what CXO is. One of the guys is from Fast Track. Oh, no kidding. Are you serious? So who's the CEO? Joom, 25-year trading veteran, founded SJJ Capital in Montreal. I don't know what that is. That's probably his own thing. Growing up to 40 live equity traders. Later ran a trading floor, joined a fund's automated desk in Charlotte, and grew a $6 million AUM fund from 2013 to 2017. He's got a YouTube channel. Good. I was hoping he'd have a YouTube channel. All right, Joom. All right, there's bounce off demand here. VIX is staying a little elevated here. I'm holding off. So, you know, it looks like all the other ones kind of. The thing that's different is a swing. And is that... Think about this. Let's just do a thought experiment. And then I'll stop wasting time on this. Let's say a 50K account, you get a swing account, and it's straight to... Oh, the consistency rule. Okay. 25% consistency rule. Trader Bank. I think that's how much you have to leave and draw. I don't know what that is. Max payout's 1,500. Okay. Not that interesting then. You have to trade for 4 days with a 25% consistency rule. You have to make $150 for 4 days. For the swing one. Yeah, okay. You know, I'm not sure I'm as interested. The max payouts are kind of boring. Especially because you got to pay. I don't know. Seems expensive for that, yeah. All right, back to the markets. Let's see if we can get a move out of demand. Back above VWAP. Press the green button. It's blue on my computer. Well, I guess on Top Step X it's green. Well, right now, risk is too far away. At low day stop, looking at about, well, 30 plus points, 35 points. That's not crazy. And I do want to be certain, like, I was thinking the longs were looking good after this candle. You know, longs looking good, and then boom, boom, smack down. So wouldn't want to get caught in that. 30 to 40 points is your usual stop. That's fine. I think that's reasonable. I just, you know, I would need to move to micros for that probably. Yeah, cumulative delta not making new lows. I see that, Waz. But wouldn't it be a little different in, can you count Globex CVD really? feel like it's got to be a lot different. All right, little VWAP test there on NASDAQ. Yeah, C-Dog, you don't need to trade minis on the 150K. Yeah, that's responsible, I would say. Wow, my face is way too close to the freaking... My camera's just too close to me now. Let me move it. It's making me uncomfortable. No, over here, dude. Over here. No, stop going that way. Okay. Just watching here. Don't forget, University of Michigan sentiment in 12 minutes. PA has been ass this week, says Grizz. I would tend to agree. I have not enjoyed it at all. I found this week to be very frustrating, honestly. And I will be glad for a fresh week next week, and hopefully it's more in the realm of what I like to trade. All right. Yeah, when the first hour is bad, it's kind of no bueno in general. Trading Academy, you got 2 payouts from Top Step this week, then lost both the XFAs. Yeah, that's common, you know? That's a common thing, is happens to a lot of us. At least you get the payouts, it's good. Paying yourself is great, but it can be hard to hold on to them after the payout. I mean, you're oftentimes, you know, you're closer to your, well, you'll always be closer to your drawdown. You have less wiggle room. Maybe there's a mental side of it too. Am I getting a Bullnox code soon? I haven't bothered with Bullnox, so I guess I could apply for their thing. I'll sign up for it, sure. Is the music off? I'm hearing the music loud and clear on my side. So VWAP there on ES, got a little bit, got the way through it there on NAS, and then we're back to test it here. No trades yet, Refuge. No trades. Froggy, you're up 575 on an eval and 75 on another. Nice job. Sea-Dog, you're targeting 550s, 560s, and then 640s. Good luck. Seven and a half minutes till consumer sentiment. I kind of like the short side still. As long as we can stay under VWAP here. I like under the 50% retracement of the 15-minute candle as well. Nice job, Eddie. It's nice to get a small piece of the move, especially like on a Friday. It's nice to get at least a small green bag, because then it really takes away that thought where you have to feel like you have to trade, you know? It's a good position to be in. Even if it's just like 150 bucks or something. Walken, you say, you find it interesting how the market keeps rocketing up despite not so much volume buying, nor particular contextual positivity. Yeah, I mean, I would be inclined to agree with you too. It's definitely bouncing way harder than I anticipated. You know, last week I was looking to for potential entry short, like swing and puts, but never got enough indication that was likely to happen because dips kept getting bought. Griffin, what's up? Do you guys read COT reports? I don't know what all this. I feel like this is like a newer thing that people are like, that retail is like looking into. Is it? I just feel like I hear about it now more than ever. John Linden, what up? Good morning. If you look at the NASDAQ daily, we're touching the big 2-year trend line from the bottom. The dip might come soon. All right. What's up, Kyle? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Glad you're here. Yeah, news in less than 4.5 minutes now. There's ES getting a pop through VWAP. ES getting a nice push higher there. Sorry about the lag. Yeah, my bitrate's dropping. I don't know what's going on. Being a little screwy. Parshov, I turned off my face cam like 30 seconds ago. Got news in about a minute now. Had to read that twice, Eddie. Here's the clock if you want to check your lag. Refresh the stream if you're still lagging like harder than, 10 seconds. Right now in Chicago, it's 8:59, 40 seconds. All right, 5 seconds till news. Oh, there's a nice dagger. And a quick buy up and another slice and dice. That'll stop you out of any longs. Unless you're Sea Dog and you have enough room on that, stops under low of day, maybe you're still okay. But that was a nasty little candle. No, my camera's off because the bitrate dropped and it's, the camera looks really laggy. When the bitrate drops like that, so I just shut it off. Otherwise, everyone in chat just tells me how I'm lagging. It's not as fun as it sounds. Okay, Parshov, if you wanted the Bullnox thing, here. There's the Bullnox sign up link and support the channel. Appreciate it. Alright, so news, SmackDown and Demand Zone, quick buy up. Just chopping around VWAP still. Look at the 5 minute. It's definitely tightening here. I would like to see him move away from this shortly. Down or up, I don't really care. Just want a nice strong move. Jake says, hey Dan, we know you already said you're lagging, but anyway, just want to let you know that you're lagging. No offense. The chat, maybe. It does sound about... It sounds kind of familiar, yeah. Good morning, Brandon. Ah, it's Sour Planet. Sour Planet unloading his position on VWAP. That's what's causing all this back and forth. Bro needs to unwind thousands of contracts. I'm kind of feeling, well, I don't need to make any wild guesses here. I will just wait. Wait till we have something that looks a little bit better than this. But right now, I mean, I do like this wick lower into Globex resistance and then the move away. I mean, we could have a nice move up after all this is said and done. Let's see. In general, I would prefer the short side, but I mean, it's looking all right to the upside now. It's just pretty boring, like, you know, 0.18% on the day green. Right around where we opened, you know? Just nothing too interesting happening at the moment. I think the discount codes on Bullnox are... I think they have 91%. Try code Dan on Bullnox. If you're gonna trade way before news, do you still have to close 2 minutes before? It just depends on the prop firm. Some you do, some you don't. Most of them, I think now you don't have to for that. For Michigan sentiment, that you don't have to close out for on most prop firms. What's up, Dom? How you doing? $15 for a 50K account? Really? Pretty good deal. You're trading My Fun of Futures? Then you can stay in on My Fun of Futures. My Fun of Futures, you just have to be aware of T1 News. So you go to your calendar, click on T1 News. May 16th, there's nothing. So you're good. Okay. Nice job, Dom. That sounds like a win to me. I was so tempted to take a short last night during Globex. I set an alert on my phone for this level. It came into that level and I was like, oh, I really want to short. But I made a rule myself not to trade Globex. Luckily, Rach reinforced that and says, don't do it. And then it blew right through the short that I would have put on, and I would have been frustrated with myself. So I'm glad, glad that rule exists and I stuck to it. But I was tempted to put the trade on. I really was. Well, I really hope there's a nice move in store within the next hour. Eddie, I always pull charts up on my phone during Globex. Sit on the couch and I'm like, pull up the phone fairly often. Check TradingView. I pretty much pay for TradingView just to have the good chart on my phone. A 5-minute chart on ES is actually mildly more interesting than the 5-minute on NASDAQ. All terrible though. Yeah, Lupek, I agree. What's wrong with Globex? I trade all the time. What's wrong with it is how I trade it, I guess. You know, it just wasn't working for me. So sometimes it'd go well, but I would hate taking a loss and starting the day red from Globex loss. I just hate starting New York session in the red. Yeah, Eddie, I think that's smart, just to ignore it completely. It's a bunch of nothing, guys. Trade 22 range charts. Is there any way to chart from your phone? I don't know. Chad, does anyone know any good apps, mobile apps that have a 22 range chart? Do you have any tips for those who take profits early? Well, you could do a walk away analysis. Go back to Monday this week or pick a week. And it's going to take a little bit because it's like manual work. But then you go back and look at how much more money you made. Like make a spreadsheet. Pull up the trade and write down how much more money you would have made if you stayed in the trade for 5 extra minutes, for 10 extra minutes, for 20 extra minutes, right? And they could probably find a pattern of taking profits too early. And the statistics say, based off your walkaway analysis, you need to hold the trade X amount more time. Like, so anytime you're looking at exiting, you have to think about, okay, how long have I been holding this? Do I actually want to get out? Am I just trying to secure some profit? Am I trading my P&L? Am I trading the chart? I need to be trading the chart. So that might help you see statistically that you need to be holding longer, and then you can't ignore that. It's just like when I see stats like, oh, you suck at trading from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna really stop doing that then. You know, stats say I should stop doing that. I either need to fix it or I need to stop doing it. If I don't know how to fix it, then I'm gonna stop doing it. The one issue you have with Bullnox is you can't copy trade with other prop firms. If they didn't do that, I would have a lot more Bullnox accounts. Well, I mean, I don't copy trade between prop firms anyways. As long as you could copy trade like 20 Bullnox accounts or whatever it is, then that's fine, right? All this disgusting chop. 15-minute to me looks like it wants to go lower. $150 for 10 50Ks. That's a good deal. I would try Bullnox for that. Is it intraday trailing drawdown? Who's in a position right now? The only person I know in a position is Sea-Dog. I think he's still in his long. To me, it's looking like it's gonna finally break to the downside, but you can't just guess, right? But cumulative delta looks to me making new lows here. So as long as it's not just getting absorbed, we can get the push. Option 2 is end of day. Oh, okay, Parshav. Do they have 1 day pass? What are you saying, Parshav? You get 3 funded accounts, then you can unlock the 4th, 5th after you get payouts. Are you saying they limit you to 3 funded accounts at once until you get payouts? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it's 3, then you gotta unlock them. Oh, okay. Would I consider going on MFFU TV? I never watched it. Is it a good show? I did go on Tops Up TV a couple times. And then they didn't want me back. They're like, wow, you were far too popular. You're overshadowing our hosts. It's becoming a problem. I think that's what they said. Yeah, cheap knockoff right now. Yeah, I when Patak told me about Tops Up TV before they launched, I was kind of skeptical about it. I was like, really? But they actually, I feel like they did a good job with like the production side of it and the different segments. But yeah. Bless you. Yeah, I'm muted. I was talking to my wife. Code is Dan for all of them. Look at the top there. Anyone that lets me, any platform that lets me, I just use the code Dan. You just want to hear a dog sneeze or a snore. I got snoring dogs over on this stream. It's pretty cool. So, MFFU, while we're on the subject, they do have I think this ends today, maybe. I think it ends today. But if you want the expert plan, 30% off using code Dan. Expires Sunday, May 18th. So if you've already done the starter, the expert has like some benefits. No consistency rule. What else, Eddie? No consistency rule. Yeah, I don't know. Let's check that out. Man, look at this. Look at this freaking market, man. Could be a nice bear flag here on the 15 minute if we don't push too high. I think the shorts will be pretty nice. But if we you know, put new highs on a NAS, that's off. Uncapped payouts is the other thing on the expert plan. No max payout? Oh, okay. I don't even know if I knew that. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll do that next. Because I've been enjoying it. So expert plan. You got to make 4K on the 50K account to what, pass? Is that what that means? And then the payouts every 14 days. All right, hang on. Let me just let me look at this as we move higher. So the expert 50K. You could pass in one day, right? But you got to make 4K instead of 3K. And yeah, every 14 days you can request a payout, so you do have to be a little bit more patient. Eddie says treat it like a personal account once you get it. Makes sense. So those are 30% off until Sunday if you want to use code Dan. Could be interesting. It's hero short territory. I'm a little tempted to hero short it. I am short. Top step X here. Will either be a quick stop out or I should be able to sit in some green for a while. The music get loud? Oh, it must be this setting here. Hang on. Hang on, I'll fix it. Sorry about that. It's this new screen I set up for Top Step X and MFFU. Sometimes the settings are weird. Try that MFFU as well. Whoops. Stop. I know, Sea-Dog, you don't know about shorting. I know, you're a permabull. But I think it's, look at that 15 minute, I like it. It's doing what I want. I did say it was kind of a hero short, but risk is pretty good here. Reward is terrific. Up 300 right now, 15 points. Could target even lower if we actually get a move. I'll worry about that later. Still got plenty of time to be wrong on this trade too. You like the new mean reversion, Dan? I might like him too. You're in long Parshav? Okay. Careful. Oh, what's up, Giraffe? Well, I'll just call you Harley from now on because it's still simpler, if you don't mind. So, came into VWAP there. Little buy up. Entries on point, says Midnight. Thank you. I think it's pretty good. Usually I would not. Usually this is not a trade I'd take. But I'm liking it. You know, even if it's a stop out, I think I like it. There's ES going for a tick higher here. NASDAQ not playing along here. So if we do get the move lower, I do want to find a nice target here. We got overnight lows all the way down at 348. I think that's reasonable, honestly. So let's see if we can get out of here and get down to overnight lows. But right now it's threatening to stop me out here, so. High or low? Hopefully not. Yeah. Really want this flush to happen here soon. Not just wicks. I need to see some solid, heavy candles, and I'm not getting that right now, so may be in trouble here. Yes, put in new highs. If we can get heavy close, I think I would add to this kind of trade. But again, I think I'll worry about that when I'm out of drawdown. Okay. It looks like it's gonna come get me if it doesn't roll over here in the next minute. There's one mini, Harley. One mini. Dan, did you know once in Kenya there were lions on the highways? They escaped from the national park. This was in Nairobi, so lots of pedestrians. That would be frightening, to say the least. Just driving to work and a friggin' lion holds you up, makes you late to work, slashes your tires for fun. They didn't do anything though. Didn't mind the humans. Nice. Well, that's good. All right, this is what I want. Get under VWAP, heavy close. Good, good, good. Very nice. This can close nicely. I would consider an ad here. About 5 seconds on the candle. That's a nice heavy close. Holding off on the ad just because I don't want to mismanage this trade and go from nice profit to be sitting in drawdown again. Why are you short? Because I like to make money. I was looking at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart looked pretty good to the downside here. Thanks, Brad. And then, so up very nice on this one. Let's check MFFU. Very good, about the same. Going to the lows on NAS here. Now, this is a decent place to take profit. If I was in 10 micros, I would scale out maybe 3 here, maybe 4. Right at 400. Love for this to crack and visit overnight lows. ES still has a ways to its lows, so I like that. If it can get some continuation here, NASDAQ will plummet. Halfway towards my profit target. I might close this one a little early. I'm at FFU just because there's that consistency rule, and I don't want to throw things off too bad by making like too large of a gain. So I'll stop at 405 3/4 here. Nice job. What made you enter there? Hang on a second. I'm tempted to go ahead and secure a bag here. It's a good place to take profit. There might be more downside. I could always pop in with a few micros and catch some more of this move if I would like. The entry is phenomenal though, so it's also tempting just to want to hold it. All right, out of that one. Very nice trade. Out on that one too. So 760 times 2 on MFFU. Got the balance back in the positive like I wanted. Very nice. Now we might be going for more here. Mentioned reshorting here with micros. Sometimes after securing a bag, I think it's nice to size down, and if you still like a move, you could try to catch a little bit more of it without giving back too much profit if you're wrong. It's kind of a way of scaling out half too, you know? Look at ES here. ES needs to really get a little heavy. Get a little heavy. Okay, I'm back in now, 5 micros. This way I can participate in future downside after having secured a bag. So what was my target? Overnight lows was 350-ish. So that's why I don't feel so bad about, you know, exiting the trade and then watching it continue without me. I was able to get back in a little bit with, you know, half size. And, you know, if it's a stop out, I'm risking like, what, $200? I can always tighten up here now that we're starting to get a move. And I can even be at break even if I wanted to. It's a way more comfortable position to be in now. I risk like $57 or maybe get back above 400 a little bit. So maybe I'll risk about 100. My MFFU is out. I'm still out on MFFU. Very nice. After that wick on the last candle, I'm going to be at break even here, so no risk. No risk trade. Thank you, Ori. Close to the break-even hit. Still in. Thank you, Jello. It's a nice little trade. I'm really glad that played out because, you know, there was plenty of time there where I was thinking I'm just going to get stopped out as ES is making new highs and I'm in short. Like, that's an uncomfortable place to be in. But this is a really nice sell-off on NASDAQ. ES not as great. Glad I'm shorting the one with relative weakness, you know. VIX making new highs. So then the other consideration here is if I do get the move into 350s, I can just take off half. You know, I could leave a couple micros on. It's pretty low risk. So let's see if, well, it might make sense to move my stop back up and risk losing some money on it. ES is at its lows. Go get a little bounce here before it snaps. 5 minutes looking pretty good though. All right, let's see if ES can get the selling required to push it through to new lows. You're listening to the stream with a 20-minute delay. You're like, this guy's an idiot. Do I feel nervous in the trade? No, not at all. My heart rate's at 71. It's pretty close to resting. I'm just chilling. I already made a bag, secured it, and this is all just icing on the cake. So I feel good. Again, I think I'm gonna maybe move. Well, every time I talk about my profit target, we get a little buy up. I almost feel like it's. I'm gonna move my profit target down there, and then if we do come into the 50s, I will look to scale a couple out and keep a few on. So all right, so we had a little bounce right here. Pre-market or Globex at around 2 a.m. Central Time. So let's see if we can flush through and get to those 50s. Thank you, Jim. ES finally getting to its lows here. Ready to cover 2 or so here. Just really want to see the flush down to like 350 here. What's up, Botan? Good morning to you. Flush it. Come on. There we go. Come on. Very good. You're almost there, buddy. Almost there. There we go. Chop, chop. Try to front run it maybe a little bit here. Watching. All right, I'll cover 2 there. If we actually hit 350, I'll take 1 more off. Parshop, why are you so insistent on longing though, my friend? Look at this nice. There's a ton of consolidation, a sweep higher, and then a flush. All right, there's 350. Took 1 off. Still in 2. Very good trade. Very good. Thank you, Walk-In. Appreciate it. So there's a sweep of overnight lows. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Thanks, C-Dog. Sorry the long didn't work out for you, man. Like I don't really care which way we moved as long as I could understand it and try to get a piece of it. Can we continue to flush? What's overnight lows on ES, you ask? I'm glad you asked. 59.23 on ES. Did you do that too, Eddie? Eddie, I'm telling you, this is our year, buddy. This is our year. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it. Glad you made it back too. I'm very pleased for getting back in. That's something I don't normally do. You know, people have said that before. You know, they say scale out. I go, I'm in 1 mini. I can't scale out. And they say, well, you can get back in. You know, I'm like, I'm not doing that. It's harder for me to get back in. So I'm very pleased I was able to do that because I have a hard time with it. I scaled one off there too, still in 1 micro. Honestly, there could be I mean, if it actually gets good, just like grinds down all day, this could be a situation where I mentioned yesterday where I'm like, I think it was yesterday, where I said I could just hold 1 micro the whole time because my entry is pretty good. I do feel like I could do that here. It's a great place to take profit, so that's why I'm exited 4/5 of the position. I'll give it a little bit more here. I'll let it retrace half this candle. Any more than that, I'll stop out for a profit. So 355.25 is my trailing now. This is a retest of overnight lows here on NAS and push. Okay, stopped out. I don't know if you guys could hear the soundboard because I don't know if it's active over there. So nice bag there, 1200 on the Top Step XFA, 765 on 2 MFFU accounts. So this is the kind of Friday I really was hoping for. So real quick, we can talk about, someone asked why I entered a while ago. Now that I'm out, so you can look at, if you rewind the stream before I took the trade, this candle, my face is kind of in the way. This candle was green, right? So it was up around here, around the bodies, the top bodies of the other ones. And so I said, as long as it doesn't push too much higher into this, the large opening 15-minute candle, it'll be a nice bear flag, and the short would be pretty sweet. And so I got in a little earlier than I normally do. But the other way to look at it is there's consolidation, chop. So you have the top of the range right around here. This little red box. Again, let me turn off my face real quick. And then what do we do? Okay, we sweep above the top of the range. And then I enter, I think around here-ish. But it's a nice little sweep of it. Unable to really get much further than that before getting a decent little drop there. And then the 15-minute bear flag was looking pretty good. I like the sweep above the top of this range here, back under. And so when I looked at it, I'm like, well, my risk is going to be the highs here, which is, I think it was maybe 12 points. It was not a lot of, maybe 14 points of risk. It was not bad. And the downside is delicious with overnight lows. Or about, I think Eddie was like almost 100 points away. And so here, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to get stopped out because ES is making new highs. And I feel like all it's going to take is one little pop and NAS will stop me out as well. But I got the drop just in time. And then I was able to exit around, where did I exit? Around the lows. And then got back in half size and rode that down as well. So it ended up being pretty sweet. Hopefully that makes sense. That's exactly what I like to see It's very clean, you know, very like, you know, one and done type thing, except I re-entered. So now here we are, the 50% retracement of this nice bearish 15-minute candle. This would be a good place for sellers to reload here. So let's see if we have more juice in the squeeze here and can push lower. Because, you know, ES hasn't really... It turned around before its overnight lows. It'd be nice to sweep that level. So could have a potential another move here if sellers feel like this is a good zone for them to re-short at or add to it. So keep an eye on that. If we stay above it, then obviously, you know, just hold off. Don't worry about it. Big bounce now, says Sea-Dog. Well, you know, we could have a V-bottom recovery. That's a pretty nice engulfing candle there on the, I mean, it's just a 1-minute chart, but it's pretty nice. What does the 4-hour look like? Four-hour made new low, bouncing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You know, you don't really... Me personally, you know, for the long side, I would like to have seen us sweep the PDH right there, and we were unable to do it. So it's a lower high. But, see how this ends up closing out. Yeah, it could have a decent tail on the bottom of that candle. We haven't had a V bottom in a while. Well, have we had V bottoms? I haven't really been paying attention, but like later on in the sessions. But to me, this feels like could be a decent V bottom. If you get a prop firm and be exclusive, can we still use your discount codes? Yes, you can. Yeah. Like all last year when I was Top Step exclusive, my Apex one was still active. Like I didn't promote it, but I mean it was technically still an active code. It is getting warm. Man, yesterday the weather was crazy here. It was you know, low 80s or something. So this is Fahrenheit, of course. And then, like in the evening, like around dinner time, it popped up to like 90 degrees. So there's like tornado watches. You gotta watch those sudden temperature changes because that can cause those tornadoes. And the tornadoes, I feel like they always happen right around dinner time. We have like food on the stove and the tornado siren goes off. Luckily, yesterday was like north of us, so we didn't actually have any tornadoes. But Midwest weather can be a little nuts. A lot windier than I remember. All right, Eddie, have a great trip to Nashville. Glad you had a nice day today. VD, what's up? Happy Friday. So it's a nice slice through demand there on ES. And delete those zones now. Staying above the 50% retracement of this 15-minute candle, so it's not really what you want to see for additional downside. Look at this wick on the 30-minute. 30-minute only has 7 more minutes on it, so could be a pretty bullish hammer there on the 30. All right, so let's check out this XFA. Let's see how it's done on a weekly basis. So far in May, green weeks across the board. You can see what happens if I eliminate these days. If I look back at the price action, I bet the morning is pretty shitty. I would imagine. So that's what? $2,600 right there. That's $3,400, probably $3,500 in losses. And so you can imagine, just if I didn't trade those days, not that I made money on those days, I didn't trade. You know, that bumps the P&L up to $5,400 or something, and then I'm taking payouts. So I think the key there is to try to identify more quickly price action that does not work for me and stay out of trouble. Now, Wednesday, the good thing is I only took 4 trades, which is, to me, that's reasonable. And then I was like, okay, this is not feeling this. But yeah, I got to work on keeping those a little bit lower, and then I'll be sitting pretty. But $3,200 on the month so far is not bad. Especially if you can do that on a copy trading perspective. This is just a solo one now. So I really want to pay off from Top Step because I had I had 5 at one. I had 5 and then I blew 3 and then I blew 1. Yeah, so like I really need to pay off from this batch to feel better about things. And right now I could take $1,000 out. If I take $1,000 out, that will put my drawdown to 0. So then I only have $1,000 of drawdown left. So chat, I will ask what you think I should do. I'm gonna do a poll here. Should I take a payout on Top Step, leaving myself with $1,000 of drawdown? All right, we'll do the poll. Let me know what you think. Building the account is interesting to me because I am not, I'm not probably going to buy more Top Step accounts right now. Probably gonna put pause on that for a few. So this would be my last Top Step XFA until I decide to dive back in, which I don't know when that'll be. So I do actually really am interested in knowing what chat thinks, because there's two sides of the coin. There's an argument to be made for both. What I would say, here's my personal thought. Personal thought is I've been trading pretty good. Again, let's look at the stats. 57% win rate. That's a little bit higher than usual. Usually I'm around 50. Wait. Yeah, last month. Why does it say day one 100%? That's not correct. Anyways, I think if I can just stay the course, I mean, I would love to take a larger payout. I would love to just continue grinding it up because I still have negative $1,000 max loss. So I still have about $3,000 in drawdown right now. End of day, I think it'll recalculate, right? So I'm a little torn. And it seems like chat is torn too. I don't really know what the best thing to do is. By the way, here's VWAP on ES. Pretty large rejection on VIX. Correlate with a nice V bottom there on ES. Yeah, I know. There's it doesn't hurt as bad when you pay yourself, but also if you don't tilt and you just continue grinding it higher, then like you're doing well. Whereas, you know, taking the payout, I feel like more often than not leads to blowing the account for within the next couple days. Especially with only $1,000 to drawdown, I'm gonna have to trade micros and grind back away from $1,000 to feel like, you know, I could put, you know, mini risk back on. I am leaning towards waiting. Yeah, I am leaning towards waiting. Yeah, pay yourself. Yeah, pay yourself to recoup some of the. Yeah, that's valid. That's totally valid. Look at this. It's pretty nice V bottom up to, I don't know what this level is. Settlement? Yeah, settlement. Right now the poll is, it's like 50-50. I think I'm gonna hold it. I think I'm gonna hold it. What up, Justin? You took 1100 and blew the XFAs and moved to Take Profit Trader. Yeah. What's up, Saul? How you doing? How's the account 2? Is it good? I thought account 1 was like fine. You know, I didn't think it was amazing. I didn't think it deserved a sequel, but you know, if it's good, I would definitely watch it. Dan, you're working a W-2 job. Do you want to get paid $2K for the week or $4K for 2 weeks? It's the same thing. If you're firing on all cylinders. Well, I feel like if I got paid every 2 weeks, but then my chance of losing my job went up by 50%, then I would be like, just pay me every 4 weeks. You'd wait for the 1.5K payout? Yeah, 1.5K is a little bit cushier. Okay, option 2. This is option 3 rather. It's a bad idea. Is try to run up this profit while my max loss is still negative 1,000. I try to run this profit up today. It's Friday. Do it, says Ryan. 8 out of 10 is pretty good, Salah. Pretty good. Dan, would you rather nail every trade with 100% win rate or lose all your trades? That's a tough one. Gambler mindset has Unicrypt. It's not, to me, it's not gambling, but it's pushing, right? It's pushing a little bit harder. I almost like this long. Almost. Miguel, you'd rather lose all your trades because it make you grind harder. That's funny. Kevin, don't promote other. Can't allow it. Don't promote other codes, please. Hold on one sec. All right, I made my decision. I'm not going to request a payout. And I'm actually going to call it a day here. I'm going to go hang out with the wife, have a good time, start my weekend early. I got actually a fair bit of things to do today. So thanks for hanging out with me this week. It's been fun. Despite some of this trash price action, I was glad I was able to get a bag today. But Rachel made a compelling case. So I'm going to head out. I'll see you guys on on Monday. But have a great weekend. See you later.